this area for this tiny little move, this little move over here. So I don't actually want this. This is just what I want to build my position to where I want it to be. Because think about it. If I had to ask you the question now, would you rather take $1,000 and make 200% on that? Or would you rather have $200,000 and make 20% on that? What would you rather do? You'd rather take the 200K on a 20%, right? So I started to learn that it's not about this huge move with my little bit of money. My little bit of money on a big thing, yeah, it's nice, but it's not making me the real cheese. You know, it's not making me the real cash. But if I can use this to take my $2,000, remember, what is leverage and things like that? And guys, we're going to be doing spot and all these sort of things, but this lesson specifically today is on leverage. And what that means is you got two options. You've just done school now. So you got a spot account, and I teach you, and you must stick to this because it's going to teach you true to who you are, and it's going to teach you the right way to do things. Is to any spot accounts that you have now that are printing profits, you take profits on one of them now, and you take some of that profit, and now you're allowed to trade on leverage. That's it. So you can't just take from your money now and go trade it on a leverage account. It doesn't work like that. You take one of your spot accounts that have made some profit, you take that profit, and now you can do it because you're creating another business. Okay, very important to understand that. But basically, what it means is if you have $1,000, or let's do $100, for example. If you have $100 and you're going to 10x, it means you have the buying power of $1,000. So you only have $100, but you're borrowing money, and you're able to play with $1,000. Okay. Now on cross, the way this works is if I take $100 on a 10x and I get a trade, and I make 10% on that trade. Okay, I've basically made another $100. Okay, profit on that actual, because I'm playing with $1,000. But what I'm able to do is if I say, okay, I got $1,000 buying power, I make 10%. What happens if I use that 10% to make my position bigger? All of a sudden, it will double to a $2,000 buying size. And if I use another 10% after that, I can make it a $4,000 buying power. And if I use another 10% after that, I can make it an $8,000 buying power. I only have $100, right? Glasses. So what that basically means is if I look at a simple chart right now, and I'm like, okay, what does this mean for Solana as we speak? I take this whole thing over here. It's a smaller time frame, for example, but it's basically offering me 5%. And I'm like, okay, if I can use this to build my position to where I want to be, and then, for example, you have another area over here. Just explain the concept and then we'll take the trades. But basically, if I can use this little piece over here to basically double my position, and then this goes up here and it forms another flag, and I can use this profit to double my position again, and then this goes up here and forms another flag, and I can use this to double my position again. All I need is that last trade, the small trade up there. I don't need all of this. This was used for me to build my positions up. But basically, I was able to take my 1,000 buying power to 2,000, to 4,000, to 8,000. Now, all of a sudden, I have my last little blow off trade, which basically gives me in the region of a 11 or 12% trade, but on an $8,000 to a $10,000 buying power. Now, all of a sudden, I make $1,200 off of my $100. What's better? Is it better for me to have my $1,000? Okay, because remember, it's $100 on a 10x. If I enter right now and this runs up here, okay, I'll make $250. It's 25%. So I enter one entry here for the big trade. My best scenario, I make $250. Or I use these 3 steps over here to get my buying power to $10,000 just for this little trade over here. And this little trade over here makes me $1,000. Do you see how I 4x my outcome by learning that I can use these pieces as a step to get the position that I actually want? When it came to crypto, I always thought I needed every trade, I needed every move, I needed everything like that. But then I started to learn that it takes one trade to change your life. One trade. Like, it's crazy. One simple trade. And that made me breathe a lot more. To be like, stop prepping for this one huge trade. Start prepping where you can make it a lot more bite size. Because if I had to show you that you can use this simple strategy over here to get, and I'll explain to you how the strategy works, guys, because you only, let me just share. You only add to the positions when we break trends. Okay, so I'm a trend line trader. There's the trend line. There's the trend. So I teach you, you only add and build these positions when we break trends. Very simple. So it's not just adding whenever and things like that. You're adding a break of trends. But ultimately, I'm teaching you now that instead of you worrying about getting 100% trade, worry about 3 steps before you get that 20% trade. Let's rather take 3 smaller trades or 3 smaller things to build the position that you want for a 10% trade. That becomes a lot easier than putting the pressure on yourself to make a 100% trade, right? Because basically that's what you would need to do to make the same amount of money off of the strategy that I just taught you. Okay, I taught you that we only need a certain amount of movement to get that. If you wanted to make the same by taking $100 on a 10x right now, and you wanted to make the same amount of money, you'd basically need Solana to go to, from where we are right now. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, this is how high you will need Solana to go to make the same amount of money where I just taught you in this little area over here. Same amount of money. There we go. You'll need Solana to go to $41 to make $1,000. I showed you only need this little piece over here to make the same amount of money. See the difference in thinking. People don't think like this. They don't understand it. They don't these things. Stop worrying about getting this whole trade right, step for step. Let's get this piece right. Let's build the position. Let's get this piece right, build the position. Now, for example, this may reject over here. So let's actually erase this. Let's erase this.
So Sheldon, there's a bunch of questions while you're going. I don't know if you want to just
2 secs before we get there now. 2 secs. Okay. Next thing now, and I just want to show you guys the power of this. All of a sudden, this goes here and you build your first position, right? Remember what I said, you build it. Now your $1,000 becomes $2,000. This rejects. So you're short. Same position, you're short. All of a sudden, you short it down now because you can reverse your actual trade. You can change a long into a short, and I'll show you guys. And then it does this, breaks down, and same thing. And then it breaks here, and then it goes. You can use every step here to build the position that you want for that one ultimate trade. And that one ultimate trade takes you to your goal. So it doesn't matter which way the market can reject there. Fantastic. You can still add to your position and you can still continue building that position as it goes. And that's what I want you guys to start thinking about is the step-for-step method. Very simple, very that. We'll go through some questions now. Craig, or you can go through it.
Summarize some of them quickly, Sheldon. So they're asking, like, when you add to that position by taking your profit and putting it back into the trade, what does it do to your entry price?
It lifts your entry price.
Okay, so it lifts your entry price higher. So then you've just got to obviously watch your stop loss at the same time.
Yeah, so the way it basically means is this. So if price goes, let me explain it again quickly. So here's your entry price. Price goes up, right? And it goes here. This is all your profit. So what you decide to do is I want to take my profit now because price has made a flag and now it's broken. So I want to take all this profit here and I want to use it to build this position. So you'll basically take your profit and you'll buy in. And what will happen is your entry price will go up. Okay, now where you want to always keep your entry price is below the flags, right? Below the area we don't want to come back into. If this is a breakout, that's where it needs to be. And basically then what you do is you raise your stop loss just slightly above it. Okay, so you've given all this profit back, but you've made a bigger position. Then all of a sudden price from here goes up again and starts to form a flag. Okay, and we decide to break that flag. Now what you do is you have all of this profit that's sitting over here. You decide to use it because you want to rather have a bigger position than to take profits right now. So what happens is your entry price, you buy in over there. You take your stop loss and you move it up over there. Amazing. Then this is, let's say, for example, this is your final trade.
Sheldon, you froze a bit there, Sheldon.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay now.
Yeah, so what you basically did is you used the first flag to use your profits, to build it up. Then you had the second run, you used all this profits and you built it all up again. Stop loss always above, you want no risk. And then it breaks again. Well, that's when you'd be adding is when it breaks. And basically you have your final target now and you allow this trade to run all the way through to there. Or you can also run it on a simple method of the, let's just see, there we go, of this running up and your trend line. There's your target and at any point. So basically you're using that last run. This is the trade that you want. So do you see how you start pre-jumping and you start focusing on the later trade. You were more looking at, is this trade for me to take profits on right now? Because for you, maybe you have a $1,000, $3,000 account, and this is the only trade you want. Amazing. That's my money for the day. Fantastic. But ask yourself the question, is this a trade to take profit on now, or is it a building trade? Is it a trade to build my position? That's the two differences that you have. If it's a trade that you just want to take profits now, trade on isolated. Don't trade on cross. You don't need it because you have a goal. You have a reason that I want to put $1,000 in on a 5x and I only want to make $200. Amazing. Take your trade, put your stop loss, and stick to your system. But you do have the guys that want to build, that have time to watch and to build their positions. And that's my goal exactly now with the current trade that I'm taking now with Algo. And I'll show you guys that now shortly. So
Sheldon, the second question that's coming in there, does the leverage size change when you buy back in? Does it change the leverage or does it keep the leverage the same?
The only thing that changes is your margin, the amount of money you're putting in.
Okay.
So this changes.
If you took a 10x, it stays 10x.
No, so yes, but you can raise it if you want. As long as your stop loss always above, never go over 10. I'm being naughty and this thing was set as a 12. Don't do what I'm doing. But basically 10 would be your highest, but this is where the skill comes in again now, because basically what this means is if I go here, I'll go back to what chart was I on? So many here now. Does anyone remember which one was I on? Sol. Okay, so let me explain this again now. You have the two options. As long as you control this entry price, you are in power. Okay, so for example, if this goes up in profit now, and you decide to use your profit to build that position, right? So for example, you put here, you're in $200 profit, and you use that $200 to fill up, but your entry price is only here. Okay, and we've broken this wedge, now you're going to the upside. So let's say I started on a 5x and this goes up, I'm at $200 profits. I decided to add in all my profit here. Now I have no more margin there and my entry is still sitting here. I can now go to the X and I can change it to a 6x and it will give me a little bit more margin. And I can buy that up and my entry comes here. Then I can go to 7, a little bit more margin until here. I can't go any more until it gets here. I can't. But 7, let's say it gets here. Amazing. Take my stop loss, put it there. Now all of a sudden I've managed to increase my X, but I've still kept the power of my entry price. I've still kept it in a reasonable position. So if you have your entry sitting far from here, remember, you still got to have a goal for the ultimate trade. But if your entry is sitting far here, you just need a little bit more margin. So you can higher X your actual, now you can go to 7X, 8X, as long as you have control of this and it's sitting below the wedge, amazing. Then price goes up and it shoots all the way up here and it forms a flag. Okay, and basically forms a flag. Amazing. Cool. I formed the flag. Great. And we decide to break it to the top. And I'm like, okay, let me use this profit over here. Let me buy in. Now you take all the margin that you have in profit and you buy. And all of a sudden this comes over there. And you're like, whoa, like we here now, we're breaking up to the upside. This thing's only here. So I can go 8x, 9x, maybe even 10x. 10x, you never go above. Never. That's why it's so great, guys. You don't have to enter trades on a 10x right now. 10x can be your goal, but you don't have to use the 10x right now. You can start on a 3x and then build it 4x, 5x, as it starts to build up. But ultimately now you have your whole position in. You're only on a 7x. You're like, okay, 8x gives me a little bit more margin. I buy up on the 8x. Okay, there's there. Okay, 9x, I buy up. Okay, 10x, buy up. Okay, max. Okay, done. Sweet, cool. Put this in here and ride the last wave up because that's your max position in, and that's the last trade that you need. If you guys get it. So it's going to take a little bit of time to understand it. These are all add-ons that are coming in the course and things like that. This is what you're going to learn every day, guys. We're going to practice this and actually do this. That's the beauty of it.
Sheldon, just another question there you mentioned a little earlier that if it rejected on that upper trend line that you got there now, you could flip your long into a short. Won't you just show it on buy, but where that little reverse button is so people are aware of it?
Yeah. Just understand and take time on it, guys. Don't just shift. Like it needs to be a reasonable one, which I'll show you guys. But you see here on your position, I've opened a long now, right? You see this little thing here that says reverse position.
No, it's an up-down arrow.
Yeah, up-down arrow. This one over here on your position on the thing. If I click that, it will turn the same position size that I have here. It will just turn me from a long into a short.
Yeah, so it takes your initial capital plus your profit and flips the entire thing into a short. Likewise, if you're in a loss, so it'll take your loss
and it doesn't use this money over here, your available balance. So once you've changed this into a short, and now you're in a short and you've put your stop loss in, you can now go add this to your short.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very powerful when used right.
Correct. And don't get so emotional that you flip in, out, long, short,
No.
Then you're doing
It
something
needs to
wrong. Rather
be,
close your trade. Yeah.
yeah. The only time you do that is price goes up here now. You have your 4 hour, your 8 hour, and your 12 hour at the top, and we start breaking a major trend. Amazing. You're very certain that we've lost steam. And now it's time to basically go to the downside. This dominance
Getting there. Getting there.
When that breaks and it breaks properly, holy shit. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. Let's look at what's next here. Algo. Okay, Algo's back in the zone. We just want a bit more upside from Bitcoin, man.
Yeah.
What are we thinking, guys? Max, Chris, what are you guys thinking?
I like algo.
But what do you think of Bitcoin alone on this move? What's your guys' thoughts?
Oh, Bitcoin. Let's see. I think the 1 hour will need to come down some.
Okay, so this should be technically, we got to stick to what we're seeing here is the break of the trend and a retest of the trend, which we have not done just yet. So it does mean, let's just have a look quickly at Algo and look here. So Algo, I'd have a slightly bigger stop loss in the beginning right now, which would probably be, let's actually set this up as a trade. So I'm in Algo right now and I need to put a stop loss in. I'll probably start, let's look at our percentages for risk to reward right now there. So we can have a little bit of a bigger stop loss here. So my stop loss will probably be in this area over here. Fantastic. Jackie, for the guys, I see we capped out at 1,000 people here. How does it work for more than 1,000 people watching on a private YouTube?
The YouTube link is posted already.
Where is that YouTube link?
It's posted everywhere. I'll share it with you guys as well here in the chat.
And Bitcoin needs to take out even no matter what's going on, Bitcoin have to take out those highs before it goes down anyway. But it did break back into the rising wedge that I have.
Okay, so amazing. Let's put this in here. Stop loss. I see whoever took, who was it? It was Jackie. Who did we do the trade with on Friday? The cohort 2. I don't know if any of you were there, but
Yes,
I think your theta trade hit TP. That was a big trade. We nailed it. We nailed that one good. Okay. Guys, your new trading home. That's what this is. New place for you to relax, sit back, still do what you got to do in the day, but you got a whole team here with you. So long position. There we go. Stop loss is basically around 1%, and it's around about a 10% for now ratio. Great risk to reward on this current trade right now. So let's put this quickly into. There's the top of the box. Label text.
So
Okay, there's that over there. Let's get a TP point over there. Good.
Anchor on a 4 hour look good too.
What's
The
that,
1
bro?
hour just need anchor. The 1 hour needs to break though.
Over trade, okay.
Sheldon, you might want to look at INJ. It had a breakout from the trend, and then now it's at retest, literally at retest.
INJ. Will you, while I set this up, do you mind sharing your chart?
Sure.
Cool. Share your chart, brother. Let's see what you're seeing. Okay.
I have a baby sleeping next door, so if I have to go, that's why it is.
No problem. You got so many. We understand, bro.
Yeah.
You can just pass it on to the next. Okay, guys. So algo is in the entry. I'll tell you when it's not. So if you have entered and
You guys see my screen?
amazing. We can, bro.
Cool stuff. So looking at the 4 hour, we need a pullback that actually did happen here. It didn't really. You guys still here?
We here,
Mhm.
brother.
Okay, cool. So it didn't really get to the 50% level, but I think that because everything is pumping hard and dominance is coming down, I think this is a great level to start looking for longs. So when down on the short time frames, you see you've got a decent trend line here. I just see a zoom popping on here on my screen, and I can. Okay, now here we go.
No, it's annoying. It's like
Yeah,
that
it's
little
I
thing at the
just have to
top.
move this. Yeah, so we got this trend line here, right? So we've got also starting to form. We broke out from here as well. So we created a change of character here, right? So what I see is that we retested
Amazing.
this trend line, and we're probably gonna hit at least this TP here. But I would suggest if anybody's taking, this is a 1 to 6 risk reward, by the way. If anybody's taking this trade, take profits here and take profits. Yeah, I put it here because why not? But if we don't want to get that YOLO, always take like at 1 to 3, take 50% off of the table. And
Yes.
also what can happen is that we have a lot of liquidity down here. So what we might want to do is that we might get like a liquidity sweep down to this area, which would be very good on the 4 hour as well. So even if we break this, that would be okay. And then enter here with a stop loss, probably below here. Something like this. And then the same goes. So this is what I'm doing right now.
Amazing.
And I also
Fantastic.
got H-bar going on as well. This is the same concept, basically. I've been looking at on the 4 hour. It had a very decent pullback. So I believe we're seeing a reversal right here at these levels. So
That's a 618.
yeah, so an H-bar got in at this
Oh, that's good.
6.4. Yeah. So this is also the same thing. Broken trend retest. Let's go.
Fantastic. Thank you, bro.
Cheers,
Amazing.
man.
We're gonna check our update just now. Guys, in the chat, I've just posted the link to the algo trade. So don't chat for a second. Just have a look at the link. But this is how it looks. Max, how's that 1 minute trade coming, bro?
Oh, very, very soon. We are potentially about 5 minutes out from taking a trade.
You want to maybe okay, guys, so we got Max and he's got a really cool, I'm excited to see the concept of these 1 minutes. 1 minute for me is it may work for Max. We'll see the whole strategy, but it's a nice way to practice, guys, like to take a very small amount and to get used to the market movement, breakouts, where to put stop losses, all these sort of things. So let's have a look. And if you are going to do it, school fees, guys, very small accounts just to have a look. But it's very good to get different opinions and a look at it. I don't know if you wanna share and maybe just go through a little bit of an idea of it before it happens. Because when it happens, it's so
Yeah, I can do
fast
that.
and things like that.
Just need anchor.
Let me take my
Amazing.
goggles off quickly and then we get going.
Yeah, it's time to get into serious mode. Okay, guys, there. So if you look, this is the trade that I gave you guys over here. So mine is in. Let me quickly put a stop loss in. Put your stop losses in, and once you put your stop, can someone mute there? I can hear myself. Okay, then let's make a rule. If you're going to be a part of this group, it's very simple. We make a rule. I take a trade. I give you a stop loss always. You put your stop loss in. So I want to know, are you in the trade and stop loss? Yes. Put a thumbs up. That's all that I want to know. Put your stop loss in. Put your stop loss in every time. We make a rule. If you're going to be a part of this and be a part of the journey, amazing, but always put stop losses and do what I do, please, so that you can learn. Okay, so let's quickly put my stop loss in play over here. So what we said is stop. It looks good, guys. It looks good. 21.4 4 is basically the stop loss area. So let's put that in. Okay, great. And so this is the little tool, guys. Very easy. 0.214. So basically $34 at risk. Put that in for now. I'll put my TP in a little bit later. As long as you got a stop loss in, amazing. Okay, it's looking good. Algo should go to the moon. I'll start looking for the rest. Max, go for it, brother. All yours.
Yeah, let me just share my screen again. Let me know if you can see it.
We can see, brother.
Okay, cool. So basically what we're looking at right now is a 1-minute chart. And the strategy that I am working on and developing at the moment is based all off Sheldon's methods, but specifically trend line breakouts for entries. So like we're about to get now. Basically what you want to look for is a solid 15-minute trend if you can find one. That would be best case scenario, or a 5-minute trend. This is a bit of a short, like this is not enough data here, but basically we're going to enter our trade right over here. And I'm actually going to quickly open a position up here. Okay, and we're using very, very high leverage. I use quite high leverage for this trading strategy to compensate for the basically like the margin that, or the amount of money you need to make the trade worth it, right? Because obviously if you're going to trade with low leverage, unless you're using like a large amount of money, you might only come away with like $2 or something, because we only aiming to make like 1% trades here, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the breakout, which is sort of happening, and I just need to quickly enter here. Okay, cool. So I'm in. So what I'll do is I'll enter sort of like Sheldon does it, and I'll enter maybe 50% of my position. And keep in mind, I'm not using a lot of money right now. I'm still working on the strategy. Okay, so I'm using a maximum of $50 at the moment, right? I'm going to put my stop loss at sort of this kind of zone over here, just below these lows. You want to keep everything nice and tight with the high leverage. And then I'm going to go for 1%, hopefully. Let's just see. It might be a bit out of the question. Let's go for 0.8, right? So you need to, I don't know how if I'm allowed to talk about high leverage and stuff like that, but basically for this strategy, I like to use either 25x if the trend line isn't very strong, like this one, okay? Or if it's a very nice trend line and you got a lot of touches, I'll go up to 50x, okay? But you're going to keep your stop very, very, very tight, okay? And already 0.25%, that's over 10% of your position size already. So you got to be very careful when you're doing this. So I've entered already now, and we can kind of just watch what's happening. This is not the best trade to take. I won't lie. I would rather go short when this bigger trend line breaks. This one over here. But we're going to just see what's going to play out here in the next couple minutes. But this should play out pretty nicely. We should at least go attack these highs again one more time before potentially reversing or push up higher. So this is sort of what I'm looking at. I don't know if Craig, you want to ask some questions just to.
So I'll ask the question, since I've sat in the session where you actually explained your strategy. So for everyone in the chat right now, they don't really know exactly how you start your strategy. So maybe start by explaining that to them your actual dedication to drawing the trend lines, because I know you said you start from a green candle to a green candle if you're looking for a bullish movement, and red to red for bearish. So maybe start with those full basics.
Okay, yeah. So with your candles, okay, the lower the time frame you go down, if you're going down to a 1 minute, 5 minute, the more accurate you need to be with your where you draw your trend lines. Okay, on the bigger time frames, you got to think your trend line is a zone of resistance, right? It's a resistance zone or a support zone. And the bigger in the time frame you go, the wider that zone becomes. So as you come down, you need to be more and more accurate. So there is a correct way to draw trend lines. Whenever you are on top of candles, so you're drawing a trend line on the top of the candles, you need to go from a green candle to the next green candle, right? And we use the wicks. Okay, that's how you draw the candle, and then the trend will sort of play out from there. And then from the bottom side, you draw from red candle to red candle when you are on the bottom side of the candles. So for instance, I've gone from this red candle over here, and then this trend is a little bit vague at the moment. It's not really touching everywhere. It was touching a bit better, but because we've had this like little bit of a outside red candle here, I've just gone to this red candle. Okay, and that's sort of how you draw your trend lines on the low time frames, just to be a little bit more accurate. Okay, so I just want to explain what's happening here with this trade so we can just monitor it. So with small time frame trading, like 1 minute trading, it's very, very important that you manage your risk as soon as the trade is playing out. Okay, because we're on a 1 minute chart, it's going to happen quite quickly. So already I can see that when we broke out of the trend, right? As soon as you break trends, you want to clear zones straight away. The first zone we needed to clear was this little high over here, right? And if you have a look, this high is pretty much exactly the same height as that one. So that's already a red flag. This trade isn't playing out right. So I'm going to already probably move my stop up a little bit more to try and protect myself. This could just be a retest right now, like we have on Sheldon's trades, where you break out of a trend line, you come out, you retest. But because we've sort of formed a double top per se, I'm going to just tighten up here because if you're on a 1 minute chart, you're going to have way more opportunities, and you don't want to be losing your money every time. So rather take the hit with as little money as possible.
Cool. I don't know if you have a chart available with you right now, but in the session that we ran the other night, you explained the concept behind always readjusting the trade according to making sure the trend lines are correct for the trade as it's moving. I think that is the true power behind your strategy. Do you maybe want to dive into that?
Yeah, so what Jackie's talking about is at what point do you move your trend line to adjust it to make it more correct, right? Because we had this bit of a trend playing out here. We've only got 2 touches. It's not great, but we've got the trend sort of playing out over here, and we've already broken out of the trend. Okay. At what point do you move the trend line? Okay, so the first rule is, so you go from green wick to green wick, right? And then the only time you can move your trend line is when you have a green body close above your trend line, right? So this body is still touching within our trend, so it still has, that's not a confirmed breakout or a hard close, as some people call it. Okay, so we haven't had a proper close yet. Here's our first candle that's closed outside the trend. I'm not going to move this just yet because the price action is still playing out in this little area. If we set a new high, so we pass this or pass this low over here, then I'll show you what we'll do. But basically, in order to move your trend line, you need a hard close green on top of your candles, and the same thing goes for the bottom side. So let's just quickly zoom in over here. So we had our trend that looked something like this at one point, right? And then we had this area over here where we had these red wicks come down, these red candles, and they close below our trend. And it was a bit of a fake out. So you might have got stopped out of position here if you went short here. It happens in trading. So we've got a red, here's our first red body close. So the trend line technically moves down to there. And then I suppose we're just going all the way down to the bottom now. This one's still touching, so you wouldn't really move this. So my trend line might actually be a little bit wrong. And if we adjust it slightly, you'll see that maybe we should go into this touch over here rather. Okay, let's just adjust there. Yeah, more or less.
Amazing.
Okay, so you can see we've already there. We had our retest. We didn't clear this zone. We've tried again. We haven't cleared it. My stop needs to be real tight now because this is not looking good. This is reversing potentially. Let's just go under there. And we're probably going to take a hit here, but it's all cool. Like I said, we want to take these 1 minute trades on 15-minute trends. And if we go into a 15-minute, look at this price action that we got over here, you can hardly see a trend forming here. So that's not what you want. We want a breakout of something like this. That's going to give you a much nicer trade.
Amazing, bro. And what I love about that is I'll quickly add to what you're saying there. And this is why it's amazing, guys. If you want to get good at trading, you must never be afraid to take these school fees accounts and to go learn that, because you just saw that play out, right? And what basically I was looking for was the likeliness of you getting stopped out comes from the basis of that higher high, having the retest, but then going for the higher high after that. Now, what I basically do is I jump in. Appreciate it, Max. Well done, bro. Love it, love it, love it.
No
So if you
stress.
look
It looks
here,
like it's gonna play
now
out
I go to
nicely.
amazing. We can jump back and get an update now. But now we go to the 4 hour and you see a very similar thing play out. Okay. Yes, we're waiting for a possible retest. Amazing. But on the smaller time frame, it probably did retest. Yes. But now what? In order for you to know that the stop is good and things like that, we want to clear this high, right? So the same way you just saw it on the minutes is the same way you're going to reflect it on all the time frames. The only difference is the amount of time you're trading and the range. So you go slightly more leveraged because it's smaller positions, quicker trades, things like that, where you can go slightly less leverage, bigger moves, right? But same thing works. Is basically what you want to see over here. And it's all about the practice and understanding that every time frame repeats the same method, repeats the same emotions. It's just on different time frames. But this comes down now, it retests or something like that, and then it decides to chase up there. It's very important that we get past this high, as he just said it now. Gets past that high, fantastic. But if we go and we start to make our way up, we start to go up and we go just short of it, and it decides to come back again after it's already retest, take the stop loss and start crunching up, because that was the important level to get through. So guys, it's about seeing it on small time frames and also matching it on high time frames and understanding the way you want the market to flow and to move. You're never afraid. If you know, okay, wow, I've made this now. It looks fantastic. It looks real. It looks like it's great, but we don't make that higher high just yet. And okay, this is the major thing. Nothing wrong with crunching up that stop loss when it comes. So to give you a little bit of understanding again on this over here, what could happen is this comes down, retest, and then it goes again. And if it comes just short and it starts to come down again, you crunch up on that stop loss. It's amazing, guys. It's about understanding what you want to see and playing out your trade. It's fantastic because end of the day, if it did retest over here, and let's quickly draw this up again. If this does come down and retest over here, this must be it. If it's not it there is likeliness that it's coming down lower and it's not going to give us what we want. So crunch up there, so you take a way less of a hit, because if you had to have your stop loss there from your entry, you're looking at a 50%, right? But all of a sudden, we don't make this higher high and we decide to come back lower here. I can crunch the stop all the way up there and end up taking no hit. It's about understanding just when your trade is going to plan and when it's not playing out exactly that. Now, if we looked at the higher time frames now, for me, this is still going perfectly to plan the algo trade. We should all be in some profits now. Give me a thumbs up if you are in some profits. Amazing. Keep your stop loss still at the areas of where they were. Where's our stop loss at? Basically where I've just put it on the chart now. That's where our stops are sitting. For now, as it stands. And what we're also looking for is if this decides to break, which I think it does, the market looks good. We will, once you break this high over here, you can slightly raise that stop loss. It's just about getting rid of that risk as ASAP as you can. Get rid of that risk so you can breathe, you can take a break, you can go chill, things like that. Because right now you are sitting at 1% risk, and you can reduce that to 0.5%, if not a lot more as it goes. So Max, you can give us an update on there when you see something happening, but appreciate you just showing, because I remember I traded quite a bit of the shorter time frames in the beginning of my trading career, and it just taught me a lot. Taught me so much about breaker trends, retests, what the market needs to do, all these sort of things.
I think the best thing about it is you get to see the patterns play out over and over and over, and you kind of get used to these bigger time frame, patterns that are playing out, and you kind of understand it a lot better. So it's really, really cool. Exactly. Like you said, the repetition of the patterns. The only thing that gets quite tough is the understanding the time frame now and the patience. If you're on a 4 hour now, exactly what you saw there, it happens, but it happens over a day instead of 2 minutes. And that's the only thing you got to get used to is the shift of the different times. Amazing. Okay, what's happening here? What are we seeing? What's moving? So we got render waking up. Let's have a look at render. So remember, guys, these are sessions that are going to be trading when they are trades, but they're still going to run every day
some days we're just doing education. Like if there's no trades, that's what it's about. It's just about having this safe place every day that you can come to.
Daily
Render
trend breakout.
ripping. So this for me in a spot is great. I've spoke about render. I hope everyone built those portfolios. I really do, because it's portfolios I've been focusing on in the last week, 2 weeks, because now we're starting to get the major trends we've been waiting for.
I think I'm about to start building
GLT is still one coming up, so get ready for GLT. When that does break, fantastic. What are you going to build up there, Chris?
So I'm thinking about starting to build an anchor position now. If you look at it on the 8-hour, it's probably gonna have to be 4 entries though.
Perfect break, perfect retest.
And it's at the 6-1, it's bouncing off the 618. It touched the 70 fib, wick down to the 76, and now it's bouncing off it's in the 618.
Holding 618, great. So I think that's a good spot. Just looking at the range of the stop areas and things like that. Let's quickly have an update on the dominance. Oh
Yeah.
just the moment. We need, you know what we need? We need a double-digit day. All of this just double digits. We haven't had one of those in a while.
Thinking is for the anchor trade, right? Let's see. If I do like let's see, 1 second.
There's Solana breaking that trend.
Oh, well, let me go to Solana now.
So let's get rid of the drawings.
Is this a retest?
So like I said with Solana, it looks like a great trade. The only thing is your risk.
Yeah.
So it's just less leverage. And that's what I was saying. This is the perfect one to practice that run on, especially if we get this rip now, is to use this whole area to start off on lower leverage here and to build the position up. By the time you break the real trend line, you want your great position in, you want your stop loss above entry, you want all these sort of things. So right now as it stands, and we have a look, the stop loss is more or less in that area. A little bit more lower for a retest, but yeah, 1.5% stop loss. Okay, so what we want on this little pullback from Bitcoin now is we want this dominance to break this trend properly, and then we want a badass Bitcoin bounce, and then we on. Ethereum's definitely looking. I see there's a 4-hour. So for spot entries, there's a good 4-hour vet break here. So what we haven't got from Bitcoin yet on this hour trend is a retest. So hopefully we can have that now, because it will get Solana in the test zone. It'll get everything in the zone. How's our algo position looking? Algo is holding pretty good. That's what we sort of want to see. Down quick, and then we can start to make our way to the upside. How many people, Jackie, are you here?
Hi, Amia. Always lurking in the background, my man. What do you need?
What's how's our YouTube looking, huh?
So you know, we've got about 342 students watching the live YouTube.
Wow, that's quite a big first session. 1,300, 1,400 people. It's a big starting session.
Yo, Sheldon, can I just update on what's happened here?
Please do, brother.
Okay,
Please
here we
do.
go. Cool. So I just want to run through quickly how the trade played out, and you can see we got stopped out, but how I managed my risk on high leverage and how I saved myself. Okay. So we had the original trend, we had the breakout and our entry, and our stop loss was down below these lows originally, right? So look at how much money I end up saving myself from losing just by watching what's happening with the price action and noticing that there's a rejection happening before it's even playing out, right? So we have our breakout. And as soon as you have a break of trend, I discussed you need to be clearing highs straight away. I noted that we didn't clear this first high, right? We rejected, we came and we retest. And at that point, I said, okay, let's tighten up the stop loss just a little bit, just in case, because it's looking a little bit sketchy. Then we sort of did our retest and we pushed up and we cleared this high. But another rule of mine on the 1 minute chart is if you are clearing a high, you need to clear it with significance. What do I mean by that? So basically, you want to clear this high up to a zone that's quite high above it so that when you come back down, you can retest that level nicely and not break back down through like we did here, right? So we pushed up, we broke the level, and it didn't hold there for long at all. And as soon as we start rejecting here, I see that, and your stop can go all the way underneath these lows over here that we already set, so that you are very, very protected. And you can see that we sort of pulled back, we stopped ourselves out, and we saved ourselves all of this. Yeah, so that's basically
Amazing.
how I played the chart out. As soon as we had this big candle push up here, you move the stops up underneath these lows that we've just set, and you pretty much protected.
I see there's many thank you, Max. Appreciate it, bro. I think people are gonna really enjoy, you know, using this, and like I said, it's gonna get you where you need to be pretty quickly. So people are asking RSIs. Okay, guys, you need to focus very much on RSIs and what time frames. Remember, you're looking at all different time frames now. This RSI is high, all these sort of things. Amazing. Let me share screen. Hold on.
I pair my RSIs with certain time frames.
So remember, you can't expect oversold. So remember what I taught you guys in the course. If you're using RSI, using Fibonacci and using horizontal to get your entries. Why? Because a Fibonacci shows you when the market's coming down, where's the golden zone that we're going to bounce. Okay. Then what you have is the RSI to show that as this is coming down to our golden zone, is the market getting oversold? Fantastic. Is there a horizontal that's matching there too? So you have a lot of support in a specific area, matching the golden zone. Yes. Then your RSI is going to be at the bottom when you enter the trade. If you're entering a break of trend, your RSI is never going to be at the bottom, because what you are doing is a break of trend is a confirmation trade. Basically means you're allowing it. You don't care where the bottom is. You just want to buy when it's safe. So what it means is the RSI was at the bottom here. And if you used your golden zone, remember there's two ways to enter a trade. Got your top to your bottom and you have your golden zone, right? Let me put the golden zone up for you. There we go. There's my golden zone. Okay, so if I looked at the trade and I saw this over here, this is coming back. Where do I want to buy? I want to buy my golden zone. That's where I want. Okay. Then ultimately RSI is at the bottom. Beautifully. RSI is there. We're in golden zone. Buy the trade. Fantastic. That's one strategy. You get a second strategy. Second strategy is buy and break of trend. It means you're not caring about where the bottoms are. You're not looking at where these things are. You want to buy where it's confirmed. Okay, so your RSI is always going to be at a higher point because it's already left the floor and you're buying when it's a confirmed breakout. So make that very clear when you're focusing on the RSIs. The RSI is very powerful when you're looking at exactly the top or exactly the bottom of where you want. But as a confirmation trader, you need to know that your RSI will be slightly up. So even though you're trading on the 4 hour, your RSI is on its way up. You now go to the 8 hour and you go look where that is. And that's just crossed to the upside. So as long as your higher time frames above it are still in good areas to the upside, it's good. But you're never going to get a break of trend with RSI at the bottom, guys. It doesn't work like that because it's a confirmation. You're allowing the market to bounce first, show me where it's safe, and then I'm only trading. So just remember that and understand how that actually works. If you're buying, so it's 2 methods. It means you're mixing the 2 methods and you're confusing yourself now. If you're break of trend, yes, you're looking to fish in the area, yes, but ultimately the RSI is going to be higher. It's definitely going to be higher. Looks like Bitcoin didn't do this.
Sheldon, go look at your Bitcoin dominance.
Now we just need a Bitcoin. Now we just need a Bitcoin bounce. Okay, it's got to close. It's got to close because we've had 2 small breaks before. It's got to close, but now we just need a big Bitcoin bounce. Bitcoin bounces now. The market's gonna rip. Sorry for my language.
Just to follow on from your RSI discussion there. So, I mean, there's always 2 types. There's 2 times to enter the trade, as you said. One is when the break of trend, and the other one is, let's say, at the bottom of the trend, like on the bottom of the trend line. And that is generally when your RSIs are at the bottom. So it's a way higher risk trade. And you really are buying with that RSI, or stochastic RSI confirmation. So your risk to reward is obviously greatly improved, but your reward on the upside is greatly improved, but you have a bigger risk of it dropping the lower levels. So yeah, with your leverage trading and with break of trend trading, especially to the upside, you're not going to have the RSI working with you, and people need to just understand that. And I guess that's the difference when you're doing leverage or spot. You know, the spot, you can wait for the RSI to get to where you want it to. You know?
Yeah. Spot. Never be afraid. Never be afraid to get those entries.
RSI rule for sure.
Yeah. Never be afraid on those. And another strategy as well, guys, that works. Let me find one for you. Oh, is a trend line retest. So let me just find an example because you'll see them at times. This is probably a good one here. So if we take this trend and we look at support, right? So remember, support buys are also really good. You want to buy on the base. So when this is coming down to buy over there, you can see your RSI. So the other times that you do buy as well is you got the option of the 618. So you'll take your Fibonacci as well from top to bottom on 618. Plus you have horizontal support. So this is really good. This is where you can buy trying to guess the bottom. Okay, you have a horizontal, plus you have a 618, plus you have a trend line support, plus you have RSI at the bottom. It's a buy. And the way I do it, if I do this method, is I'll buy 50 to 60% of my position here, and I'll add the rest on the breaker trend. I see there's many people in the waiting room. Okay. Come on. We need this. We deserve it. We deserve it.
Gala on a 4 hours breaking trend.
Gala Games.
Yes.
Oh, that looks good. People don't get it, eh? This is why you have to really be committed with the shows and stuff. You have to focus on the red and the boring days. It's the most important. When the market takes off, it's just... how's our algo trade doing? Why is no one telling us we're getting richer? Yeah, it's going up. Fantastic. Where are we on the algo trade? Let's have a look. Amazing. Amazing. I only put 500 in. I need to get the rest of my position in. So I'm hoping we get to a slowdown point so we can build a flag so I can get the rest of my higher position in. Guys, who's in the algo trade? Who's in profits? Put in the chat over there. And again, Only brag or tell me in profits if your stop loss is in. Otherwise, I don't want to hear it. Amazing. Stop loss in. Okay. Okay. Everyone's in with a stop loss. Fantastic. What we want. Guys, again, just reflect that you're sitting here right now with another 1,300 traders that are all attempting the same thing, the same ambition. And look how many people are in and they're putting the work in. They're attempting it, they're trying, they're being part of it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You got a community here. Learn the skill with us. Very proud of all of you guys. Well done. Okay.
Hey, Sheldon, can I just say something?
Of course you can, brother.
I thought it would be great to reflect on this because we had this stop out trade with Max, and I saw people commenting as well that they've been a part of it and all that. And I think it's just very important to acknowledge the fact that losses are the part of the game. So we're not here to tell you what is exactly going to happen at every given moment. We're here to tell you what are the probabilities of a trade playing out or not. And if you've got a strategy, that strategy has to include the losses. I always look at it as business expenses. Like, it's a business expense. A stop loss is a business expense that will occur at one point or another. So the fact that you get stopped on one trade should not discourage you at all. That's why you got to do proper risk management. And that's why you just got to keep grinding, looking for the next trade. If you get stopped out, no worries. Go to the next one. There will always be another trade.
Exactly. And when that win comes, it's worth every single stoppage. I promise you. It's just about being
following
consistent.
up on that, Sheldon, while you're looking there, and following on from you, Fefi, there. So if you look at the statistics, most people like to look at their win rate. So they like to say, well, I'm winning 8 out of 10 trades, and that's complete nonsense. There was a study that was done, and they took 3 very successful traders who landed up retiring as multi-dollar millionaire traders. What they found was that on average, and this is excluding those guys, so on average, normal people like to say that they're winning, let's say, 7, 8 trades out of 10, but they never look at their overall profit, which invariably is a loss, even though you're winning 7 to 8 trades out of 10, because of the losses on the other 2 are what actually cost you your whole account or cost you all of your profit. And they did a study on these 3 particular individuals, as I say, they landed up retiring as dollar millionaires. And their win rate of every 10 trades, Fefi, was 2 out of 10. 2 trades out of 10 was their win rate. Okay. Now they had to look at them. Well, why were they so successful? Well, they were so successful because they stopped out quickly. So when you go into a loss, if you can stop that trade out quickly, and that's why when we saw, was it Max with his 1 minute strategy, up that stop loss. So yes, you're prepared to take that stop loss, but take that stop quickly. Reduce the absolute limit. Don't get into this drawdown where you eventually land up, I always say, praying to the crypto gods that you're going to get a reversal just to break even so you can get your money back. Don't get yourself into that position. Rather stop out quickly and go for the next trade, exactly as you say, because you
Cut
only
your
need
losses
those
short,
2 trades.
let your winners fly. That's how the saying goes as well.
Yeah, you just need those 2 trades and you're going to make it. So not only is the stop loss an expense, as you say it now, it is something that must absolutely be in your head that it is okay. It doesn't make you a bad trader that you stopped out of 8 out of 10 trades. It is perfectly good if you took a good, quick stop on it. If you have deep stop losses and you're taking deep losses, then you've got to start questioning your strategy, But in terms of normal course of trade, it's quick and early. Take those losses, move to the next trade straight away. Don't let it affect your emotions. Don't let it say anything about how bad a trader you are. Because as you said, no one here, not Sheldon, not any other trader in the world knows what the market's going to do. The market will do what it wants to do. Who would have thought last night that Elon Musk was going to go and change the Twitter thing to Doge? Okay, no one knows that. But what happens is the trade goes and you play with the charts. So don't ever get yourself into that situation. As we always say, don't marry don't date, don't hate a token, just trade it, you know?
Exactly. And don't
Don't
revenge
date it, don't
trade.
hate it, just trade it.
Yeah.
You know, keep your stop losses tight and go with it. So the people that are coming here expecting every trade to be positive, it's not going to work out that way. It is just not the way that things work. And people need to understand that. I see there's a question, Jackie.
Great. Can I just wanted to add one thing to what you're saying, because everything you said is perfect. One thing to add is that's why risk reward is super important. This is exactly why we should look at risk reward and not look at what I make, because if you have a risk reward 1 to 10, meaning you risk 1 and you win 10, even with one winning trade out of 10, you're still profitable. So that's 100%. Why it's very important to look at your risk reward and your win rate. So it doesn't matter if you win 10 out of what is it, 9 out of 10 times, if the 10th takes all the 9 profit. It's just exactly what you said. So risk reward, 100%. Strategy, and win rate.
And I think the most important thing, or one of the most important things, is the mental side of it. You know, I'm always one that's always talking about trading psychology. You have to get ingrained this in your mind, that a loss is not a bad thing, because as soon as you get a negative mindset, it's like you're going to draw in negative trades. You're going to make mistake after mistake. So if you go into a position where you're making a big loss after a big loss, then you need to stop trading completely. You stop trading and you go back and you relook at your strategy and you relook at yourself and you refocus before you come back to. Don't come back with revenge trading, because the market will get you. It's like they can almost smell that you're weak in the market. Always remember that the market is not there to give you money. This trading market that we're in is not there to give us money. As much as we like to think that, it isn't. It is there to take your money. You've got the biggest, smartest computers, algorithms, whales, you name it. They are out there to take your money, not give you money. So you have to outsmart them. And we're just a tiny fish in a huge pond. So you've got to understand that you've got to be nimble, you've got to be quick, take that loss and move on. You know what I mean? I always feel sometimes like I think of these kings and in these old Victorian times where they eat at the ballroom table and they're all eating this fancy food. We like the mouse at the bottom that's grabbing those crumbs. And you've got to get in and out, grab that crumb and get out before they catch you there, you know? So take that money. And I hope that resonates, Fefi.
100%, man. 100%. Well said.
Jackie, I see there's a question there from Sarah K. I don't know if I suppose I can't stop the sharing.
I can hear you. Maybe. Yes.
Also, just like everybody else, like Max is refining a 1-minute strategy for himself. You know, like y'all need to be trading as well. Like you can't expect somebody to find and do everything for you. Like you got to do it yourself.
Yep. You've got to learn here is that you are trying to learn the skill of trading yourself. So yes, it's all good and well to have to have the team here with you and backing you and helping you, but you've got to get to the point where you can make a decision on your own trade, because you're going to go out there and you're going to see other YouTubes, you're going to see tweets, you're going to see people posting trades. And a classic example is this Kobe guy last night. And these guys, they literally create groups to go and hunt you out and trade against you, so you've got to be smart enough with your own TA to know when to take a trade, when to stop out, when not to trade, when to trade. You need to make that decision, and that's the purpose of being here. This is really for you to gain your skill. Don't just rely on everybody that's here. Double check everything. Check it for yourself. If you're not happy with that entry, don't take it. At the end of the day, you are the only person clicking the button to buy, and you're the only person clicking the button to sell. And you're the guy that's going to take the profit, and unfortunately the loss. So make sure that you got it, because we're giving you every tool possible to make this thing successful, and you will be. But just truly learn from it. When you take a big loss, just go back and make sure you make notes in some sort of a journal, whether it be on a whiteboard like I've got, whether you write them down in a book. Make a note if you've done something like really wrong that worked on your trade. Detail it. Even print out the chart and write out on the chart what you did wrong, so it's there for you to look at. And same with your wins. Don't think all the time, okay, I'm getting this right, I'm getting this right, and suddenly think you're a hero and suddenly think you can beat the market. Every trade is a new trade. Every single trade is a new trade. Remember that. Don't think that you've got this, that you're gaining some marvel skill, because as soon as you get that confidence, it will probably hit you harder than taking losses. Becoming bravado about everything that you're doing, you then will take the big loss, because you start losing and slipping up on all your stop losses, etc.
Guys, BNB is breaking out nicely. I think we're going to have a very nice trade here.
BNB, I can agree with that, because of all that tax, I just got a feeling BNB is going to say a big screw you, and it's just going to
for sure.
because of all the attacks. BNB.
It's
So what
actually
I have is the so
interesting.
there's the smaller, yeah. So I see what you're saying. The smaller breakout here.
Yep.
That looks really good, but and ultimately build up to for the bigger breakout of the
Oh shit! Look at it on a daily.
Chris.
God, yo. The
Guys,
daily
in the
response.
chat, just pop there and say, do you like this format? Do you like having a bunch of different people, different opinions, different views, us training together? Do me a favor. If no one's done school yet, get them to do school, get them to be a part of this. And people that have done school, if they don't know that this is here and you know, just pop them a message, tell them be on these. This is where the magic's going to happen. So pop in the chat if you guys are enjoying this new format. Give love to all the people here.
Sheldon, I gotta tell you guys, I just entered BNB long. It's a short-term stuff, but I just entered BNB long.
Stage is yours.
Should I share my screen?
You can.
Jackie, so Ran is trying to join. I know we've got very limited space on here, but
Okay, sure.
No, you go.
Ran?
No, you go. You know, Ran, he can't. He can't have a holiday and not be.
Ran's
No,
always
no,
listening-
no.
No, when
to
things get
April,
exciting, he wants to be on. He wants to be on. You can't hold him back.
Okay. Let me.
Oh, I see we
do
got
this quickly.
400 messages saying we like it. Holy, amazing.
So,
Wow.
Craig, can you tell Run to join right now? I'll just disconnect from my phone and then he'll be. able
I've
to
just
Do
I've
me-
sent him the link, but you know he's on holiday, so I'm not sure. He hasn't read it yet. So
And do me a favor, guys. I've been explaining this concept to Run for a while to say we need to do something like this. When he comes on, just blow the messages up there, telling him that it's about time we're doing something like this. It's
Yeah,
about
that's
time that he's now allowed us to build this. It's about time. So just share your thoughts, please.
We should just yell
no,
at him.
absolutely. I mean, we've been wanting this for so long.
We were wanting it for so long. So just tell him and go wild. I'm allowing you to go absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. He still hasn't read it. Okay, but
Hey Sheldon, we should all just yell at him as soon as he come in.
No, we'd be nice. We'd be nice. Otherwise, he stops this tomorrow and then. so be nice. Be nice. Just tell him this is what we've been waiting for.
stock market's also looking good, Sheldon. Very good.
The stock market's been like ripping.
I don't know what's going on. Doesn't make sense, but hey.
I don't know.
just
Stock
go-
market tanking last week. Bitcoin pumping. Stock market pumps. Market like just. It's weird.
And that's such an important thing, you know, is that this news, and I mean, I'm one that is particularly affected by news. I mean, Sunday, I honestly thought we were going to wake up to a very, very, very red Monday with all the news around oil. And somehow everything just shrugged it off, you know, whether they don't believe it, it actually doesn't matter. It's what the charts are telling you, you know, that was that's the more important part of it. I wonder if there's any other question. Does BNB still need to come down?
Right, guys, don't send the message yet. Run's not on yet. Wait.
He's not on. He's not on.
He's not on yet. It's not on yet. I love you guys.
Yeah. I see a question from Tony Murray saying that does BNB still need to come down? What you find if the market really starts rallying, you know, you're not going to get those levels that you want. So you have to then really look at price action. And when it breaks a trend or you get a really bullish engulfing candle, that's your sign to enter, because you probably aren't going to go back. Ran, he's your man. Let me just see here. Ran is like my gran. Whoops. Any trade going to happen shortly? We're keeping an eye on.
Just wait. Yeah, be a little bit patient with the BNB one as well. We'll chat now. We actually want Bitcoin to just get in here. So I think BNB is going to be a great one. We just want Bitcoin to just get this test over and done with nicely. So we can get a nice little proper bounce. Yeah, we need a good bounce.
Before I do any positions, that's what I'm waiting on right now.
You've got a 1 hour close on that dominance.
Yeah, so BNB, I'd wait a little bit on this, guys, and just de-risk slightly until that looks fantastic where it is. Where would your stop go? You want to share the trade, bro?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, let me. I'll speak about the stop loss on algo now.
Oh yeah, okay, sorry.
No, you go for it. I'm speaking about the algo. You go for it. Go for it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so basically what I saw, but it might get stopped as you're saying with the waiting for the Bitcoin, but we might
Yeah.
get right now. But what I see is that we had this big. I'm mostly confirming everything on the shorter time frame. So this liquidity has been swept kind of here. So I was thinking that the probability of this was rocketing very, very nicely, as you guys saw. So I thought if this low is broken, we're probably going to leave it revisit here. So I have a 0.12% stop loss.
Yeah, so just de-risk on it right now. If you haven't got to stop anything yet, we'll get the BNB. I do agree on BNB. I think it's gonna take off. We just want Bitcoin to. What about Arbitrum? We'll speak about Arbitrum, but yeah, we'll speak about that shortly.
Yeah.
Go
So
for
that's
it.
what I would do
Okay.
here. And then if we get stopped here, then probably we're gonna come down here, retest these levels, maybe take this liquidity again, which would be something like this, and then enter around here, 309 something. That's
Cool.
what I would do.
Yeah, so for now, de-risk. I'd wait on that one slightly
Yep.
until the confirmation. And that's what I was saying as well with BNB. So it's a smaller time frame view now, but you also got the second option. You know, you want to catch, because I think there's so much attacks on BNB. I do think a big rally is coming for it. And you do have that 4-hour one as well. So for me, if you got the algo trade, I would be getting the algo trade right. Once I got the algo trade right, and this one breaks the 4-hour, I'd then be taking profits on my algo and jumping into the BNB. So it's just about shifting from strength to strength. You know, that's the. Yeah.
Oh man.
This is going to be a really good close. Close below, yeah. How's our algo? Okay, let's get an update on algo. Oh, looking strong, huh? Algo trade is doing good. So what we could get an algo is still a retest. So I would still leave my stop loss more or less where it is now, 21.4. Just for now, because we could still get a retest. You know, we could still get a possible retest. But if it does decide to blow straight through this, you know, then I'd basically bring my stop slightly up to very minimal. I just want to give it room. I want to allow it to do what it needs to do. It's on higher time frames. So our algo position's looking good. I think we got a really good one here. Great trade. Where are we here? Yeah, still well off on the profit there, which is good. Yeah, I think Bitcoin will possibly come and have a nice retest here, but I'm expecting a strong Bitcoin bounce. I really am. Nothing crazy happening on the stock market. Let's have a look.
Dixie is going nicely.
Yeah, Dixie. We want this collapse of Dixie. We want
Yeah,
this
it's
full
weird.
drop here. We want this full. Oh, that's what we're waiting for. We want this total market cap. That's when the alt's going to go absolutely crazy with Bitcoin. It's breaking through this. So you can see the amount of resistance here. It's crazy. Well, BNB is still holding that level.
Mm-hmm.
Just holding it. But it looks like there is selling pressure on it, eh? Look at that wick. I wonder if people are still offloading BNB. I'd wait on this one, guys. I'd wait for the 4-hour break. So if you are in BNB, de-risk right now. And we nailed the algo trade. So far, that one's looking. Go through a few coins here. I really wanted the Aave one for this. So we got 13 people in the waiting room. Let's admit them. Ethereum. So guys, I just want to confirm as we're waiting here for more, and we'll see if there's some more things. So we obviously got the algo trade, which is really good at the moment. But I just want to confirm the setup and how things are going to run again. I don't know if you want to just highlight me, the Jackie. Is it just me or? I just want to confirm the way this is going to work. So the same time we started today is how it's going to run every day. We're not doing Friday this week as it is Easter holiday. Easter Friday, but we're going to run from now until Thursday every single day, and then next week we'll run Monday to Friday. It's a nice casual place for you to come and trade. The way we're going to start doing it, for now it's quite a big group, but we will find a way. I want to see what you guys are trading too. So if you're taking some trades, I actually want to start bringing you guys on, help you with your trades, help you with these sort of things. Ultimately, what I want here is there's a whole bunch of mentors, and I don't actually want them trading so much. I want them more walking around and basically helping you with your trades. So important. So this is the new format. We're running it every day. Some days I'll be on a lot of it. Some days I'll be popping in now and then. You have a great team here. This is a team that's going to look after you and be a part of the journey of the wins and the losses. But we will ultimately always win in the end. That's the goal. So I want you guys to be part of this and to look after it. There's only 1,000 that are allowed in the Zoom. The rest will happen on the actual live. I don't know if it's live, the private YouTubes. So if you are the first of the 1,000, you'll be in the actual Zoom. We do have a plan. It's probably going to take a few weeks to roll out, but you're going to be split into groups and you're going to have like 2 mentors that are going to be with you, where it will be like 50 people in a group. Then you can really get that personal time. So that's where this thing goes next. It starts as a big group now, and then it starts to diversify into smaller groups where you can have your nice little core trading team every single day. And the goal of this is just to have us running, 5 2-hour streams every single day for the rest of the year. That's our goal. Just giving you time in the field, being there for you on the crazy good days, the crazy bad days. But ultimately together, you're going to learn so much. You're going to learn to protect yourself. You're not going to be afraid of stop loss hits anymore. You're not going to be afraid of these things. You're only going to become very consistent. And we're going to do incredible things. So thank you guys. Again, I'm going to do a tweet just now. If you guys can, make sure you are following me on Twitter. I just want to get this out there, guys. I love my shows and I love those things, but I don't have time to sit and teach like this on every single show. So by having all these people and sitting every day 2 hours, this is where we can teach. This is where we can really be with you. So please do me a favor. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. And I'm going to do a tweet about school probably in the next half an hour or so. Go show some love on it and what you think of the whole process and things like that. So make sure you follow me, Sheldon_sniper. On Twitter, and just so I can make sure that anyone that has done, because we have a good amount of people here, but we've had a lot more people finish the cohorts, and I just want to make sure that there's a place for them, and we'll make sure them finding the links and getting into it and things like that becomes a lot easier. So just share it. show lots of love on it so that whoever has done Sniper School is aware that this is here, and they can come have this every day, which is really amazing. And yeah, let's have a quick update on the algo trade quickly. So we nailed this one. Like I said, at BNB for now, de-risk. That's not the beautiful one. The only two that I would basically focus on is, let's have a look here. Let's see if I can give you guys another trade while I'm not with you. Solana. So I'll set the Solana trade up now quickly and give you guys the exact trade. Remember, this one's 3x to 5x. Don't go more. It's higher position over here. But let's quickly go through the algo one. So algo's on point at the moment. There is a possibility of a retest. That's why I'm not pushing my stop loss up too much just yet, because there is still a retest possibility of it. But ultimately, I'm expecting to hold this for a few days. I think the alt run's coming, and I'm expecting to hold this all the way up to the higher areas over here. So I'm not in too much of a rush to lift my stop loss just yet or anything like that. This is the only areas I'll be getting in, guys. And like I said, my stop loss is around the 21.4. 21.4. So algo is still good to go if it comes back into the retest zone. Let's quickly do the Solana trade, which is coming back pretty quickly. So I'll post this as well. Jackie, where have we got like a combined group? I know we got the different groups on Discord. Where can we have like I got live trading under the Sheldon the Sniper. I think we must start using that possibly.
Right.
Just so you can post these charts so they can find them as well on the Discord.
Yeah. You drop them, I'll share them.
Okay. So that would be the stop loss. This I also think is going to be a good trade. Okay. And the first TPs we'll do up over here for now. Don't be afraid to take profits, guys. We've got trades every single day. For now, we're longing. There's going to be days where we're shorting. Long position. Yeah. It's not too big of a stop loss. Let's take a smaller trade for this one so that we can get you into a habit of making gains. Okay. Let's quickly put this up. And to give you guys a little hint on the future, there's still a while, possibly in the next few months, maybe in the next year or two. I probably won't be doing shows anymore and probably just be doing this. Okay.
Sheldon, while you're doing that, I just wanted to pick up on one of the chats there, not for you to answer. But Guy said something about Ben from Cryptoverse or whatever has been saying there probably will be no altcoin run. I tend to agree. It doesn't matter what you agree, Paul, with this thing. We're just trading the charts. So if there's a trade, you take the trade. If there's not, you don't. And remember, there's always a trade. So whether it be long or whether it be
no
short.
one believes it until it happens, eh? No one believed Bitcoin is going to pump this year. Everyone said it was going down to 12K.
What I said earlier, Paul, is that you've got to learn to become a trader from yourself. So it doesn't matter who said what. You need to be able to look at the charts and you need to be able to make that decision. So will there be a massive altcoin rally like we had in 2017 or at early parts of 2018? Probably not. But as long as that dominance drops, money will move from Bitcoin into alts, and there's a good, whether it be an altcoin season, a mini altcoin season, or whatever, there's trades to be had, and that's the way really to have a look at it.
Okay, take profits.
Also, I like to think about it like this. Like, yeah, it's cool to listen to what other people say, but how can you make yourself an asset? You know what I'm saying? Like, you walk in a room, they ask you to try to help people make money. How can you be the asset? Don't worry about what somebody else is saying.
Okay, let's pop this in. Guys, don't type for a second so you can get it, Jackie. I'm just putting it in the chat. Someone said, Craig, I think you're such a key mentor in this group. Your explanations are always very grounding and helpful. Give yourself an extra beer tonight. Shout out to fucking Craig. This man's kept me fucking going through all of it. He's the best mentor. You guys are, and I don't mean in a way, but very, very lucky to have this man on this call right now. I promise you, he's only but heart and incredible. There's the link. Now everyone's talking about Craig. Ah, Craig, why so popular, bro?
You guys can continue chatting. I got the chart.
Okay, you got it. Exactly. I feel like I know Craig when he speaks. So grounding. Exactly. How many years, Craig, you've been trading? You from 2016, eh? 2016. King Craig, we love you, Craig. Big fan of Craig. Craig.
It's the experiences
Okay,
that
guys.
we bring.
Okay, guys. I'm retiring. You have your new king over here. King Craig. Craig, you can see how much love, brother. We appreciate you so much.
You know what's so nice
the
about
love.
becoming an OG Sheldon is that you don't have anything to prove. You can just stand back and just push and guide the people that are what I call popping, and just guide them to become the best person that they can be. So there's nothing more to prove yourself. You can just get the next generation and the next level going, and that's my whole goal,
And you can just share all of your knowledge, all of your learnings, and help prevent them from not going down those paths.
But there's Sheldon.
Oh, someone says, Sheldon, love you too. Oh, you love me. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Can I drop a little tidbit of alpha there that I'm seeing on the charts right now?
Oh, Jackie,
Yeah, brother, man.
show it, bro. Show it. I want to see.
So if we look at the ETH chart right now, it's in a real powerful position. We're on a strong trend line. Let me just share my screen quick, and I can show you guys what I was talking about.
Sol's very close to buy zones, guys. Yeah.
Cool. You guys can see my screen now.
Oh, how's those colors, bro?
Yeah, so I've set it up this way because I'm a little colorblind. Not colorblind, but just blind in general. So I have to use high contrast. So,
okay.
for those of you who were in the trading session that we hosted a little last week, you would have known that I spoke about this ETH trade just after we ended that live trading session with you, Sheldon. And over here at this point in time, I called that ETH was going to break the trend right here, and then we were going to have a more upwards trend on the bigger time frame. But as we look back right now, let me just cancel my tools here. Just get to the normal chart. So if we look, we just ranged for a bit after that trade had been called. Sorry for the fib, it's in white for a specific reason. But if we zoom out to the bigger time frame, you'll see that we've got a resistance here with about 6 touches.
Oh, wow.
If you break this trend right now, ETH is going to run.
Valhalla. Oh, I like that trend. Put that trend in, guys. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Nice spotted, bro. Oh, Jackie, cool. From next session, you're on. I want to see these trading skills. Bring it, bro. Guys, I'm so proud. Like, if you don't mind taking the chart off there, I'm so proud to see how, like, these individuals, like, how we're growing. To see how you're even charting your Jack, it's incredible. To see how you guys, like, it's really, really, really inspiring. It's truly amazing. I see someone said to me, stop smoking, bro. I think they said it to me. You know what? I haven't actually smoked in a while, and I think maybe I should actually stop and get a joint on the way home. No, I'm joking. Okay, I love you guys. We all love you guys. We're all gonna go get some rest. Put your stop loss in. Algo's ripping, looking fantastic. Solana entries. I've given you the charts. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you all tomorrow, same time. Much love to you all. When I tweet, please go show love. Show lots of love, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Cheers, guys.
Cool. Thanks for joining, everyone. Cool, everyone. Catch you guys in the Discord. We're gonna close out the Zoom now, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, same time.
All right.
Is ETH? I'm assuming you're asking ETH worth an isolated trade. Yeah, there's no risk in isolated, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. Just answering that question as I close out. How do you draw Sheldon's boxes, please? Okay, let's have a quick introduction to that session maybe later tonight. I've got some work that I need to finish, so we could probably have a quick little chill and chat in the Discord later. Does that sound cool, guys? Sweet.
Indeed.